All right, getting into box one of, yeah, whatever. All right, this is my new dryer for filaments. And we're gonna find out what is what on this thing. This will be unedited, and by the way, this is Rick with DD Laser Works. All right, Bowden tube. Destructions, ABUS, or however you pronounce it, and there it is sideways. Pretty cool graphic. Had problems with stringing this on my PLA filaments, so I decided, well, let's figure out what we can do. But it's pretty well self-explanatory. It's very minimal in parts. Got some rollers. They keep rolling off. This will be unedited. This will be very raw in how I do things. But yeah, there's the rollers right there. Let's see if I can take this out. Well, we'll go ahead and just put these together here in a moment, because they keep falling off, which I'm all right with. There we go. Here's the top right here. And if you will note, there's a hygrometer here. So let's tell you what you need to know. Plus, all the way around, or at least on the top, you got some vents. You've got all these little pass-throughs. That's so you can feed all of your filament through, which I did not know I had an opportunity to do. Now we get to the main critter. And that's it. That is all she wrote. Not a bad deal. It's actually quite light. Just kind of give you all a heads up right here. Arguably, I'm not mad about this thing. It will help me out in the long run. But yeah, this is it. I'll stop the video here in a moment and get everything together, get everything situated, and show it in operation. But so far, I'm liking it, and look forward to seeing. I've got some filaments I do have to dry. Started noticing some heavy stringing in my print jobs. But yeah, that's the unboxing right now, and I'll get it set up. And setting up is quite easily. Put the rollers right here. It's able to handle 2 filaments at the same time, or an extremely large roll of filament, not elements, filaments. And it actually looks pretty good. I've seen reviews on it or other breakout videos on it, and it works pretty good. But I'll stop this video right now, and we will get to having it set up and through the magic of editing, even though I said I wasn't going to edit. But I'll be back here shortly. Before I go into full setup mode, I just wanted to show you, that's the humidity in my building right now. That's basically just ambient humidity. There's no temperature involved on here. It's a very basic type of deal. But yeah, I will get it loaded up with filaments and I'll be right back. Alright, back. And I'm just turning it on. Hopefully turning it on. There we go. And what I'm doing is I have PLA in here. I've even hooked up the Bowden tube and go over to one of my printers and just kind of give you an idea. You know, if I wanted to shove it in there, I could, but I'd probably let it fly fast and free. I do need to figure out a bracing method up here to kind of keep it going back and forth and be able to let it move freely. I think there's probably something that I'd have to print up, but no big whoop. But yeah, very, very easy. I mean, I didn't know that I would be able to print front while keeping everything warm. And I will probably check out, probably do up another video or another part of this video for the once I see how the hygrometer is working and what have you. But overall, I'm very, very pleased with it. Very simple. The one thing that I would recommend, if you all do buy one of these things, do not mix filaments. By that I mean, if you've got one that's for PLA, do it for PLA. If you're going to be running two printers or multiple printers or what have you, make sure that you're working, you know, both the filaments inside the container are PLA. That way you can, I've got the instruction guide as to what all is what, and it gives approximate time frames as to how long and what temperature that you have to keep it at. But right now I'm just going through a drying method. As you can see, it went from 43 up to 45 rather ricky tick. So it is what it is. Now, the one thing I probably will look at getting is little plugs for each one of these that I'm not using. Those vents are there on purpose to keep everything. It is blowing out some hot air, but I would probably look at printing up something to plug up those holes or to cap those holes up so that all the heat stays in there except where it's coming out right up in here. Other than that, this is a pretty simplistic system. Again, I was not expecting to be able to print from this, which could bode well. I don't know how high I can do up the timer on it, but even if it does stop, it's not that big of a deal. It just becomes a point of what do I want to do. Bowden tubes, if you want to run it through there, that's up to you. It would probably help in preventing jams. As you can see, I've got a little bit extra inside the container. I would probably do that, and I would probably run it through. I'm probably going to eventually elevate this, put up a shelf about right in that region, and just make sure that I've got the abilities, because eventually that one's going to get enclosure, and eventually I am going to finish this enclosure. But until that point in time, so far I'm liking what it's doing. Now it's back down to 43. So we'll see. It's supposed to get down to about 10%, something like that. But we will see. This is supposed to dry in about 3 hours, 55 minutes left. So I'll come back and check on it. We'll talk to you later. Been a couple of hours, and it's already dropped about, I'll call it about 30%. I mean, that's actually pretty good, and I am not mad about that. I will be probably starting to do a print job here. Here in a little bit, I need to do up a box for desiccants. So I'm doing a temporary one in my main storage box, but so far, not mad. Hey guys, Rick with DV Laser Works. Wanted to give a kind of a deal out as far as the dryer that I got a hold of. It actually works very, very well. Just running my PLA, it took less than a couple of hours to do, which is beautiful. Like I said, the fact that I'm able to just print from that dryer is a huge plus. Now, all that being said, the cost of it, 170 bucks on Amazon, is it worth it? Yes and no. And the reason why I say that is because I look at a lot of it and I'm like, I could have done a lot of this stuff, printed up some stuff on my 3D printers, got a food dehydrator, did this, did that. The thing that I do like about this is I can pretty much run 2 filaments same time. The only other thing that I would probably have to do before doing something crazy like that is go ahead and get another Bowden tube about the same length, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. I was concerned whenever I was printing that it would suck up the Bowden tube, and I wasn't certain about that, but there was no issues whatsoever. I wound up doing the second print through that of the silica gel holder that I'm putting in my dry box, and eventually I will go ahead and mount a hygrometer and a temperature gauge on it. And I may swap out that other one just to kind of give me a better idea as to what is going on inside that. There's a lot of features on it that I did not go into on the recording that you're watching right now, or that you just watched. One of the things is the fact that you're able to leave it on continuous. So basically go past 24 hours and you're not gonna, until you run out of filament or you unplug it or there's a power outage or whatever the case may be, you can keep everything dry on that. that I like. I would keep it monitored, whether through video or what have you, just in case of a fire hazard. Overall, the print job was good. I did get, on the second one, I did get some spider webbing, or some webbing in there. I don't know exactly what happened or what have you, but it is one of those things of I was not certain as to what was going on. It's going to be something that I will investigate as time goes on. Overall, I do believe it was money well spent. There are aspects. The initial cost is the real killer on there, but it saves you from having to buy stuff and put it together if you're wanting to do something in a hurry. I am going to do something with PETG, which is the primary reason why I bought this particular dryer. There are other dryers out there. Sunlu's one of them, and there's a couple of others. But it's just one of those things that you need to look at as far as what you're going to be doing for your 3D printing projects in the future. Having an enclosure to kind of help that out as well. But overall, I'm very, very happy with it. I'm probably going to print some other stuff just for giggles. I do have some other pieces that customers are wanting me to print up. That way I'm going to see how everything goes with it, and I'm actually looking forward to doing that. And one of which is doing a replica firearm, which is going to be interesting to do. No, it is not going to be something that is deemed acceptable for firearms. It's more of a prop to do every, for cosplay type of thing, but it's not that big of a deal. There's a lot of parts involved on that, and that's going to take a while to print up. But I do look forward to showing you more items. Eventually, I am going to upgrade my my 3D printer to where I could do video and do time-lapse type of things, because you're looking at stuff that's, I can only show you snippets for a couple of minutes, and it's like watching paint dry. But bottom line with this, I'm not mad about it. I do wish that they would have at least added an additional Bowden tube to it. Now, one thing I need to stress, I am not getting paid for this review. I bought this out of my own pocket because I don't have the followers yet to be able to do something like this. And to a certain extent, I'm giving you the layman's terms as to why it's good, why it's bad, why it's whatever. Overall, I think it's a very good purchase. Like I said, it was $170, and I went ahead and moved it to doing unlimited as far as the heating, keeping it heated at 50 C, centigrade, Celsius, whatever the case may be. I think I'm going to be doing, I've got some PETG that I'm going to be doing, but I've got to learn a little more about how to prep for PETG. It's a very good product. I'm not mad about it. The quality is there. Every now and again I'll hear it in the background going, turning on, and then it'll turn off. And what it's doing is it has an automatic temperature gauge, and when it senses it's going down a little bit, I imagine it's probably about 1 degree, it'll kick back up and reheat. But it keeps it at about, it keeps my filament or in that container, even with all the holes open and what have you, it keeps it at about 10% humidity in there, which is beautiful for doing print jobs. I hope to bring you more content, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day, and this is Rick with DV Laser Works. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'll put the links down below, and I'm also one of the moderators in a brand new group, Makers Unite, and check them out. We got a bunch of stuff that's going on in there. So have a great day, and we'll catch you all in the next one.